Good evening everyone, and welcome to Presentation College and to our virtual open evening for 2020. This is all a bit strange for us all tonight, and we'd love nothing more than to have you all here in the school to really soak up the atmosphere that is Presentation College Currylea, and to witness in person those fabulous relationships that exist between our students and our teachers. But COVID-19 is here and things have to be different. And for some mad reason, we've decided that we're going to do our open night live tonight for you. So the night is going to run as follows. I'm going to talk to you for a little while to start us off. And over the next 30-35 minutes, you're going to meet some of our staff and some of our students. And the evening will finish up with our Deputy Principal, Sean McGrath, just giving you some information on some important dates that you need to keep an eye on. So, the only downside to a virtual open night is that, as I said, we don't get to meet you in person and start to get to know you. And I don't get to meet your parents and swap stories and reminisce ourselves on times spent in tune. But we're very grateful that you've all tuned in tonight so that we can show you what our school is all about. Show you who we are, what we do here in Currylea, all the things that we believe in and value. So without further ado, I'm going to start. And I hope you all enjoy the evening and that you're all nice and comfortable at home. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nasa Cosgrove and I'm Principal of Presentation College Currylea for the past 10 years. Before that I was Deputy Principal, but I never actually taught in the school up until that point. In fact, my teaching was in an all-boys school in Mayo and a co-ed school in County Offaly. But I was absolutely delighted to come back to the Pres because I think there's something special about an all-girls school. I've always been in an all-girls school, having been a past pupil of Pres Primary as well. So it was absolutely wonderful to come back to Currylea as principal, and I feel very privileged to be in this position. I'm also a mum, that's my other very important job, and I have two daughters who go to school here in the Pres as well. One is in transition year and one in second year. And that puts me in a really great position because I get to spend lots of time with my daughters, but I also get to see life in the Pres from a parent's point of view. So all my hopes of what might be going on in classrooms with all the different teaching methodologies that might be going on and the fun that the students might be having, I actually know for sure that that goes on because I see the happiness in my daughters on a daily basis and I get to overhear conversations that they have about the crack that they have at school. So I'm very privileged in that respect. For those of you girls that are there and you may be the only girl in 6th class in your school or you might be the only one that's coming to the Pres from your school, can I reassure you that it will be fine. You will meet lots of new friends here and you will settle in very quickly, just like my two girls did. They came here knowing nobody and they quickly made so many friends and got involved with so many groups and activities in the school. And remember, their mum was principal, so nothing can be as bad as that. So don't worry, all will be fine for you, even if you're coming here on your own. The decision on what school you're going to go to for the next 6 years can be often a difficult one. And you girls are awfully lucky because in Tuam you have 3 great schools to choose from. So what I'm going to talk to you about for the next few minutes is why I think the Pres is the best school to go to for you. Maybe girls, if you've decided on the school you want to go to because your friend is going to a particular school, maybe just listen to the few things that I'm going to say in a while and just make sure that the school you choose is the right fit for you. Maybe be a little bit selfish for a while and just think about you. So there's loads of mums and dads hopefully looking in on this presentation, and I suppose you all have your ideas of what an effective school is and what the best fit is for your daughter. For some of you, you eagerly await the league tables coming out in the Sunday Times each September. I usually get it delivered on my desk on the Monday morning by a good friend of mine. But for you, that's the barometer you'll use, and that's fine. In fact, I hadn't looked at the league tables myself this year yet because our Leaving Certs still haven't finished their Leaving Certs. In fact, they have exams coming up now in November. But I had cause to look at them last night, and I was absolutely delighted to see where we were placed. So in the top 500 schools in Ireland, the Pres is placed really high in that. And we are placed above all the other schools in our catchment. In fact, I think the next school is about 100 places behind us. So we're really proud of that. And that's a barometer that some of you will use. But I'd ask you to maybe look a little bit deeper into the school and maybe use more subtle things to make that decision for yourselves. Every child is an individual, and what's right for one may not be right for others. So I have a third child, and in a few years I'll have to make a decision for him. And I suppose I'm thinking, what makes an effective school? Well, we here in the Pres are absolutely committed to each of the children that come through the front door. We have an aim that we will help in their development, their academic results, and in their general well-being. So girls, we want to help you develop, we want to help you get good academic results, and we want to help you be well-being. We want to look after your well-being as well. And we have a belief here as the staff in the Pres that every student is entitled to the best possible education. And in order for each child that comes to the Pres to receive that top quality education, we have quality teachers. Now usually when we're down in the gym, I have my whole host of teachers, my team here behind me, wishing me well, and I can always feel them behind me, but I don't have them tonight. But I can absolute professionals and masters of their subjects, and they work extremely hard for all the girls here in Curly. They're constantly upskilling themselves, constantly having professional conversations in the staff room, constantly tweaking plans and making their classes the right fit for the girls in front of them. I remember when I started in the Pres, I said to the staff at one stage, always teach to the class, don't just teach your subject. And because I'm a German teacher, but I'm teaching French and German to a particular group of girls at a particular time. And that struck me a lot a few years ago when my own father passed away. He was a teacher in St. Jarlath's, and I went looking for his notes and I couldn't find them anywhere. And I was really upset about it. And I asked at home, does anybody know where Dad's notes are? And my brothers, who'd been students in the college, said to me, Dad never kept his notes because every class was different. So you can't teach Hamlet to the same class 2 years in a row. And I think that's what my teachers in this school have in their heads. Every class is different. So we tweak the plans, we differentiate according to the skills in the classroom, and we change. And we involve students in that. So when students are studying a particular module in say, French, when we're finished that, we have a system in the school called traffic lights where the students will just literally hold up a green or a red. I get it, I don't get it yet. And teachers can monitor how they're getting on. So girls, you've all got the rights, 3 main rights when you come to the Pres. You have the right to be happy, you have the right to a good education, and you have the right to be different. And I hope that during your time in the Pres that you will get a great education, that you will be happy, and that you will be free to be as different as you want to be. Our results in the school are there for the whole world to see. We are constantly above the national average in our results. But why are we? I mentioned already our staff. They're an absolute great bunch of people. But we believe that if a child is happy, if you look after their basic needs, then great things will happen. And so for us in the Pres, it's really, really important that all our students feel supported and safe while they're in school here. Miss Jordan in a while is going to talk to you about the supports, but I just want to focus a bit on the safety part. So it's not just about the locks and the doors and the CCTV cameras and all of that. That's important and that makes the place safe. But what also makes our school safe is things like our code of behaviour. We have a code of behaviour which gives you the rules and the sanctions. Everybody buys into it, everybody knows it, and people know that it's fair. And at the moment we're actually currently reviewing our code of behaviour. And to do that we have to involve students, parents, board of management and staff. So the code that you will all get when you come in here in September, the code of behaviour will be an updated version with input from all the partners in education in the Pres. What else makes this a safe place? We have a really, really good anti-bullying policy which you can see on our website. And again, we have a teacher, a designated teacher, who facilitates any of those difficult meetings that we need to have with students. If students are reported to be unkind to each other, we have Miss Payne on hand to get the girls together and to try and show people the error of their ways and to say sorry, and we move on. So that's another area that makes people feel safe. But I suppose what really makes people feel safe in the Pres is the relationships between the staff and the students. There's this mutual respect that exists between staff and students that allows students to feel safe to ask a question in class, to ask a teacher after class, to clarify something. And that's what makes it safe. And if you feel safe and if you feel happy, you will excel. And excel at whatever level is appropriate for you. Also, we have a great system in the school where we try to catch problems early. We have a year head meeting every week and a student support meeting every week. And we try to figure out if people are in need of help academically or just with emotional issues. And there again, we try to preempt any problems and we try to make sure that everybody feels as comfortable as possible so that they have the best chance to learn. They're undistracted, they're able for their learning, and great things happen that way. In all of this, you, the parents, are involved every step of the way. We won't be telling you everything that goes on in the school. We won't be involving you in every single thing. But it's really, really important that you become part of this team here in the Pres. That it's staff, students, and you, the parents. So you'll be able to check your daughter's journal for her results, for any notes. You'll be able to log on to our school app, Compass, and you'll be able to see their attendance. You'll be able to log absence notes for Mr. McGrath. And we'll be constantly in touch with you via email for the moment while COVID is here. But after that, we can have face-to-face meetings. And you're part of this as well. You're the primary educators. We're just taking over for a while, but we need parents to be involved. And life in the Pres goes on in a very organised manner. I'm looking out here at the darkness here now at the moment, but the setting of this school always makes me smile. We're so lucky to be here down in Curralee beside the park. But once you come inside, the school has modernised so much over the years. So your daughters, you girls, will have the most modern science labs, art rooms, kitchens, computer suites when you come here. And with the advancements in technology, the digital technologies that we're using in the school will hopefully prepare you for life after Curralee. I was calculating today, it'll be 2026 when you leave. It'll be probably 2030 by the time you finish college if you go there. And who knows what jobs you'll be looking at. We don't know that. But hopefully we'll give you the digital skills to be able to cope with any jobs that come out. Come into the world in the next few years. So I suppose that's in a nutshell how I feel our school is effective. We try to create a kind of a happiness, a safe environment, and then that's how the students excel in excellence. I'm just going to take a minute just to talk to the parents, I suppose, to finish up. So excuse me, girls. And as a parent, I suppose, we all have different expectations and we all have different priorities for our daughters. But I think the one shared wish we all share as parents is that our daughters attend a school that is safe and supportive, and a school where our children are happy. And they're happy to come into school, and therefore they learn, and then for they reach their potential. And I think at the end of the day, that's all any of us want for our daughters. So I've said my piece now. That's what I think the Pres offers daughters. It's what it offers my daughters. So I'm going to hand over now to Eliza Powell. She's a 6th year student here in the school. She's one of our prefects, and Eliza is going to take you on a quick tour around the school to show you some of our facilities. So over to you, Eliza.
Hello and welcome to Presentation College Curralee. My name is Eliza Powell and I am a 6th year student here in Pres Curralee. This evening I will be taking you on a quick tour of the school to show you some of the many facilities and subject options available to you as a first year. Okay, so let's get started. Here we have our Tech Graph room. Tech Graph is a relatively new addition to our school. Since its addition to our curriculum, it has proved to be a firm favourite among our students. These are our home ec kitchens. As someone who has done home ec for 3 years, I have loved every minute of it. It gives you a fantastic basis for many essential life skills such as cooking and budgets. This is our computer room. It is used for a wide range of subjects. I personally have career guidance here, but it is also used by many junior cycle students in preparation for their classroom-based assessments. And now we have our state-of-the-art labs. I adored science in junior cycle, and as a result have decided to take both chemistry and biology for my leaving cert, both of which are incredibly exciting and interesting subjects. The school also offers ag science and physics as science options. We have 2 languages on offer here in Pres Curly, both French and German. I personally have done German for my 6 years here and have found it to be an incredibly fun and useful language. On display, we can see some of this year's quill magazines. This is an annual tradition within the school, and it is a perfect memory to have at the end of each school year. This school has a strong musical ethos with many musical options available to our students. These include ukulele clubs, a trad club, and of course our annual school musical. This is our art room. It is a brilliant space for our students to express their creativity in a fun, encouraging environment. We also offer an art club for our junior students to be creative and enjoy art in their free time. And here is our study hall. Our study hall offers a quiet space for students to get their work done. This is our TY block. I enjoyed every second of my time in TY, and it is an incredible opportunity open to all Pres students. And here we have our resource room. This is an excellent facility we have, which is a safe space to provide extra resources for those who may be struggling with certain aspects of learning and need some extra assistance. I'm sure most of you would rather be here yourselves, but I hope this was a help to you all. You can visit our website for more information about what is available to first years at Presentation College Curly.
Thank you, Eliza. Now I'm going to hand you over to Ber Jordan, our guidance counsellor, who's going to talk to you a little bit about the supports available to your daughter here in Pres Curly.
Thanks, Nasa, and again a very warm welcome to you all this evening to this live section of our virtual open evening. As Nasa said, my name is Ber Jordan and I'm the guidance counsellor here in the Pres. A role, I suppose, which I feel I'm very privileged to have because it gives me the opportunity to work with students on a one-to-one, providing vocational and educational guidance alongside personal counselling and support as needed. And I suppose, as Nasa said, it's the support structures within the school that I'd like to talk to you about this evening. And as parents, I suppose we all want to feel assured that our daughters are supported both academically and emotionally as they make their way through secondary school. And I'm going to introduce to you a number of people here this evening who all provide that support structure to your daughters from the moment they step inside the gates of Curralee until they finish here having completed their Leaving Certificate. And before I introduce them, I'd like first of all to introduce you to Lucy Kelly. And Lucy is a current first year here in the Pres. And Lucy, I know from talking to her, has settled in despite all the COVID restrictions, but I know through the support she's received and the friends that she's made that Lucy feels very much at home now in the Pres. And there are 2 students, they're here with us this evening, and both of them play an important role in Lucy's time during her first year here in the Pres. And the first student I'd like to introduce you to is Alana. Alana is a transition year student here, and Alana is what we call Lucy's buddy. And the buddy system is a support structure provided by transition year students who get to know the first years. They also organise activities for them. They're a bit limited this year in what they can do, but I do know they have provided some activities in a COVID restricted way. And the second person, the second student I'd like to introduce you to is Aoife. And both Aoife and Alana have handed Lucy balloons. And the balloons are to symbolise the support that both of these students will provide to Lucy throughout her first year in the Pres. Aoife is her prefect, so every first year group and actually every class within the school is provided with a prefect. And particularly in first year, I know the first years really appreciate having a prefect. It's kind of I suppose, a student in and around their own age, a little bit older, but who is there, who they can chat to, get to know, and Aoife will guide Lucy throughout her year in first year. And the first staff member I'd like to introduce you to, who works as part of this support structure, is Lucy's tutor, Miss Corcoran. And again, Miss Corcoran is providing her with a balloon, again to symbolise the support that she will provide to Lucy. And she's the first staff member, I suppose, that Lucy will get to know, or got to know, at the start of first year, because the tutor will work with students for 2 induction days. So it gives the first year students an opportunity to get to know their tutor, and also those induction days are carried out when there are no other students here in the school. So it's kind of a gradual introduction to the school and to the staff. The next person who's going to play a very important role in Lucy's life throughout her junior cycle is her year head, Miss Kelleher. So each year group within the school will have a year head, and the role of the year head is to provide both personal and academic support for each student in their year throughout their time within the Pres. The next person who plays a very important role, particularly for first years, is our chaplain, Miss Campbell. Miss Campbell will meet with all of the first years on a one-to-one. This is an opportunity for her to get to know them, for them to get to know her. And again, it's about, letting them know that her support is there for them amongst all the others that are here also. And the next person you're going to meet is Miss Collins. Miss Collins is the Additional Needs Support Coordinator. So for any of you who may have a daughter with additional needs, it's Miss Collins you will be liaising with for your daughter as of from when you submit your application to the Pres. And the next 2 people I'm going to introduce you to, you've already met. The first person is Mr. McGrath, our Deputy Principal. Mr. McGrath, obviously is known by all the students. He's known here in the Pres as the man with the money. He's the person they go to if they forget their money for their lunch. And he amazes me, he establishes a very good rapport with students, really gets to know them very well in the early days of their first year here in the school. And the last person I'm going to introduce you to is Miss Cosgrove. And Miss Cosgrove, you've already met, and Miss Cosgrove then obviously is a very strong member of the support team within the school. So as I look behind me, we can see here that Lucy is carrying a lot of balloons. There's another balloon here which is out of my reach at the moment, but if I could, I'll ask Miss Cosgrove maybe she'll grab a balloon for me. And again, this is the final balloon that Lucy's going to receive. So if we see there, Lucy is now holding 9 balloons, and a symbol, perhaps a very good visual representation of the support structures that are here for Lucy, but that also will be here for your daughter should she decide to come here to the Pres. So I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to listen to us this evening, and I'm going to hand you over now to Miss Payne, who is talking to 3 of our students, and they're going to tell you a little bit about their time here in the Pres.
So, guys, why do you love the Pres so much?
I love the Pres because there's so much to do and you can get involved in so many different activities and there's so much to do here.
Great. Saoirse, what about you?
Everyone's really friendly and smiling. If you're in a bad mood and you're walking down the corridor, you'll always find someone that will smile at you, and it's really good.
Great, lovely.
And it's just a positive atmosphere. You go around the school and there's loads of posters, colourful posters with smile and just positive words.
Great. How would you describe life here then? If someone was to come in, what would they expect to find? How would you describe the atmosphere?
It's so fun here and there's always people to bring you up when you're down and
yeah,
it's great.
Great. Saoirse?
It's very lively. When you're walking down the corridor, you'll always hear someone laughing or someone singing, so
That's great.
Exactly. You've the crack with your friends, and not only the friends, the teachers as well. You really, get a good sense of relationship with them, and you develop a good relationship with them over the years.
Great. There's lots to do, I suppose, in school. You've mentioned that, Holly. What have you got involved in?
I got involved in football and I think it's really fun because it's all different clubs from around like the Tuam area coming together, and it's just fun to play with different people other than like people at your club.
Yeah, what about you, Saoirse?
I got involved in debating, and at the start I really didn't want to do it, but you and Miss Mohan pushed me, and then I went to a competition in UIG and wrote my speech and said it in front of a lot of people, and I was really nervous, but at the end I thought I did fairly well and I was proud of myself.
And I got involved in the musical last year, and I would have never thought in a million years that I'd get up in front of a stage and sing and act in front of hundreds of people, but Miss Lohan pushed me and really stepped me out of my comfort zone, and I did it and I loved it. I'm so happy now I did.
Great. You talked about relationships with your teachers. How would you describe those relationships?
We're very positive, and the teachers and students are very outgoing, and we relate because they know the course, we know the course, they know the stress, we know the stress, so they relate, and they really, have faith in you, and you don't have faith in yourself during this time.
Yeah, no, as Isabel said, they have faith in us, and they really boost your confidence up. It's good. They're very good. They're easy to talk to as well.
Great.
You can always trust them, and just to tell them or ask them about work or anything, it's very easy to contact or even just see them in the hallways.
Great. So I suppose now that we're in COVID time, school is different. Do you feel safe, Holly, in school?
Yeah, I feel very safe in school because everything is clearly laid out through the school, and everyone is taking the proper precautions.
Great. What about you guys?
Yeah, very safe. It's very positive again, and sometimes I even forget COVID is even here because it's very positive. And yes, we're taking so many precautions, which is very good. And yeah, we're getting through it all together.
Great. So do you think it's better being in school than being at home, Saoirse?
Yeah, so much better. We can have a laugh in the class, and can't have a laugh with yourself, so it's so much better.
Okay. What about you, Holly?
Yeah, you're always just everyone there if you ever don't want to come into school. They're always there to bring you up, so it's so much better being in school because you just feel so much better being around people.
Yeah, being connected, I guess.
Yeah.
What about you as well?
Yeah, your friends encourage you, and your friends and teachers encourage you, and it's such a kind environment that you enjoy getting up early in the mornings because you love being in this environment, being surrounded by your friends and teachers.
Okay. How did you find the online learning then, Isabel?
I actually found it very good. The teachers were well prepared, and even some teachers, they'd set work for one day of the week, which I found really good, so I knew what I was doing, I knew what I had assigned, I knew what I had to do, and I also learned and understood a lot more through that.
Great.
Yeah, no, everything was really well done out. I knew what I had to do, I got it done, and there was no messing around with it. It was very good.
Great.
I loved online learning because we got a check-up every few weeks from our tutors, and we got to see everyone and just got to interact with everyone.
Great. Okay.
It's relatable.
So thank you to Miss Payne and to Isabel, our head girl for this year, and to Saoirse Marley and to Holly Ryan for that insight into how they feel about life in Pres Curly. The three girls there mentioned their involvement in extracurricular activities. I'm just going to talk about that for a couple of minutes. Holly was talking about being involved in football, and Saoirse was talked about being coerced into debating, although she loved it in the end. And aren't we glad that somebody coerced Isabel acted onto the stage, because if anybody got to see her in our musical last year, I think you'll all agree she was an absolutely fantastic actress, and we thoroughly enjoyed her performance last year. In your packs, girls, that you got, and I hope you all got your packs from your 6th class teachers, and if you didn't, please ring Tina, our secretary in the school, and we'll send one out to you. But in your packs you got a sample of an extracurricular timetable for our school, and I know you're probably looking at it going, oh my God, there's so much on offer, but there is. And people often wonder, well, why do our staff give so much of their free time for the girls? taking into account the massive job they have of just teaching. And I suppose it's back to that well-rounded student that I talked about earlier. If the girls are happy, if they're involved in school life, they will perform, they will enjoy school, and they will excel academically. And that excelling academically is at whatever level they're at, and whatever their potential is. But I suppose as a staff, we feel very strongly in extracurricular activities, because for us, it's 4 things for the girls. It helps them to make new friends. It improves their leadership and teamwork and skills, which are very, very important. It focuses them on managing their time, which becomes really, really important in 6th year. And most importantly, it relieves stress. And we all know that that's not a good thing that it's not a good thing to be stressed. And we encourage the girls to continue their extracurricular activities right up to the end of 6th year, because we all need an outlet, whether it be sport or our book club or whatever it may be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand over to Aoife and to Abby and to Alana, and they're going to give you a brief description of the kind of extracurricular activities that they have got involved in the Pres. So I'll hand you over now to Aoife, Abby and Alana.
My name's Abby, I'm in 2nd year and I'm 13 years old, and I go to school in the Presentation College Tuam. On my first day of school I felt really scared because I only had one girl coming in with me, and we were good friends, but I just didn't know anyone, so I was kind of trying to stick with her, and I was trying to make new friends at the same time. So then when I came to the orchestra, it was really nice because you only had a small group of people and you'd make good friends, you'd be good friends with all of them. So when I picked music as my subject, we got the choice of picking to either learn to play the cello, the violin or the flute. I find it really fun to play, and it's just enjoyable. It's another way to just take your focus off school for a while. When we come in on the open day, we were shown around and all the extracurricular that there was going on in school. And there's like so many of them to pick from. You can go walking at lunch, there's board games to do, then you have the orchestra as well, there's football, there's loads of different sports. So the main thing is to have fun and enjoy it.
I'm Aoife Kilcovens, I'm in Leaving Cert here in Presentation College Tuam, and I'm from Carndulla. Well, I was always really interested in football, so when I came into the school, the first thing I wanted to do was football. Taking part in sports in school, it doesn't just keep you physically fit, but it keeps you mentally fit as well. That mental fitness helped me through the years of school focus on my exams and stuff. Playing in big matches has definitely helped me deal with stress at school, because you just get to de-stress when you're out there on the pitch. Taking part in different activities, it helps you develop good relationship with teachers. It's a different sort of relationship you have with them, because they're there beside you when you lose or if you win. My favourite part of being part of the school football team is just the friendships that you make, and they're just friends that you'll have for life. I'm Alana Mullins, I'm in transition year and I do the school musical. At the beginning of first year I was unable to manage with the musical in school, but as you go through the year you get a better balance between schoolwork and hobbies or different activities you do. And I think the musical really taught me how to manage my schoolwork and my work from outside hobbies. Before I came in here, I knew there were so many things to do, but once you're in, honestly, it's such a wide range of things that you can do and after school activities. And no matter what you like doing, there is so much. There's so many sports activities, and for musical people like me, there's so many opportunities all throughout the year to do anything that you like to do. So it's really all-inclusive, and there's so much to do during the year.
So I hope you got an idea from what Aoife and Abby and Alana said about the wide range of extracurricular activities that are available to all our students. And again, you can look at the sample timetable that was in your pack. Obviously, COVID has had a huge effect on our extracurricular activities and our extracurricular calendar for this year. We haven't been able to open up many of our clubs yet, but we are hopeful that things will improve. And as the restrictions get lifted, we hope that we'll be able to get back into sport and all the other clubs that are on hold at the moment. We did, however, manage to start some of our activities this week. We started our park walks, which have been extremely popular with the girls, and we're also starting up our ukulele club this week. So bit by bit, we'll try, according to the government guidelines, we'll try and reintroduce all our activities for the girls so that we all get back to playing football, playing basketball, reading clubs and so on. COVID has had a big change in our school, and we had to work really, really hard for the month of August to get the school safe for our girls and to get the school to a place where we felt that our girls were completely protected in these COVID times. And I suppose what we decided to do was kind of create our own mantra in the school. So we decided that every student was going to have a sticker on their journal with our mantra, which is hands, face and space. So they hear me a lot on the intercom talking about hands, sanitize them, face, wear your mask, and space, keep a distance from the person in front of you at all times. And they have their sticker on their journal to remind them of all the changes in the Pres that we have made for COVID to keep this place safe. So I hope, parents, that gives you some kind of reassurance to the safety measures that we have in place for your daughters. We are assuming we won't be in the space in September, but who knows, we'll be well prepared in any case. So one of our first year students, Edie, is going to there's a quick video coming up of just some of the changes, the COVID changes that we've made in the school. This is the last time you're going to see me tonight. After the video, I will hand you over to Sean McGrath, our Deputy Principal, who'll just do the closing dates and such things with you. Thank you all very, very much for joining us tonight. It has been my absolute pleasure to be here. I felt a bit like Ryan Tubridy on the Late Late Show, the Late Late Toy Show, but I had great support behind me here in James Ryan, and I want to thank him so much for being a rock for me for the whole day, because this was nerve-wracking, but it was worth it, because I think live gives you a better feel for the place. So we'll have our little COVID video, and then I'll hand over to Sean, and I want to again wish you the very best. I look forward to meeting you all very, very soon, and thank you very much for tuning in.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sean McGrath, and I'm the Deputy Principal here in Pres Currylea. I hope you've enjoyed this evening's virtual open evening, and I hope that it has given you some idea as to the reality of day-to-day life here in our school. I hope over the next couple of weeks that you have a big decision to make with respect to next year, and I hope that you use all of the information that you can garnish to make that decision, as all decisions are based on good information. With this in mind, I'd like to direct you to our website, www.prescurrylea.com, where there is a plethora of information available for your perusal. In particular, I'd like to bring you to the About section, and within that, our policy section brings us to two key documents. Our first is the admissions policy, which highlights in great detail the manner in which our admissions procedures work. The second is our admissions notice, and that's specific to next year's intake, and the dates required are all on that notice. This is complemented by another document, which is our actual registration form, and this can be downloaded from the website, filled out and completed, and returned to the school. Now, the key date here is the 27th of November 2020. Those forms must be returned to us by that date. We hope to inform all of next year's students about their place by the 11th of December. I will be in touch after this date for a few reasons. Firstly, to get your subjects. We will be looking for your choice in terms of a language, whether you wish to do French or German, and we will be also looking for your subject choices, where you will pick 2 subjects from art, music, business, home ec, and our newer subject, technical graphics. 2 further dates that I might need to copper fasten, but to keep an eye out for, will be a Saturday in March when we will do our Cat 4 assessments, and we will all be invited into the school hopefully to undertake those assessments. The other will be a taster day, which we usually run in the last week in May on the Monday, and we invite all incoming students into our school for a day of taster subjects. That's complemented that evening by a parents' evening, and we would invite and encourage all parents of the incoming first years to attend to that. Before we sign off, if you feel that there's anything that hasn't been addressed, I would invite you to email us at info@prescurrylee.com, and we'll endeavour to answer any queries or questions that you might have. The only thing for me now to do is to bid you adieu, to say thank you very much for joining us in the online forum, and say to you to take care and stay safe.